It's her way of talking to God for me. It's her way of talking to God for me. It's her way of talking to Jesus Christ. Her way of talking to Jesus.
Oh, it's a Saturday night with a little Jesus and the Mary chain. Timmy, you were off just by a little. Mike Ness sounds like Jim Reed from this Jesus and Mary chain, but same years, and I respect that. Awesome. BT, Brandon Trueblood, first and foremost, good to see you. Arvero, X-Mask, Results, Denny, BJ, the Forever Bachelor, Timmy Kramer, Pedro, Big Chris is back. Good to see Big Chris. Timmy on a Saturday night just had a barbecued steak and veggies, Irish whiskey in hand. Attaboy. Timmy knows how to cook too, guys. He knows how to cook. Well, listen, what do women and cell phones have in common? What do women and cell phones have in common? They have a lot in common, actually. Good to see Roland in the chat. This is Saturday night. Had a great day today. Hope you guys did as well. Women and cell phones. You know when you get that first cell phone and that cell phone's got a battery that lasts those first 3 to 4 weeks, it's like 100%. The battery barely goes down, right? That brand new cell phone, you love it. It's like, it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. And for that first month, that energy is so dope. Your battery lasts forever. You don't have to charge it but once every 3 days. It's got the latest and greatest operating system. And you're like, man, my last one sucked. You had it for 2-3 years. It could barely hold a charge. None of the applications worked, but this new one is dope. I love it. And then after a month, you see that battery charge go down to 98%. You're like, you know what? It's still 98%. It's almost new. It's all right. You know, batteries deteriorate. We make excuses, right? We make excuses for all of that. And I've been using it. It's been great. I love it. This phone is the most amazing Apple phone or Android that's come out. And it's just so amazing. It's got all these cameras. And then you keep telling yourself that. And then, 8 weeks later, it's down to 98%. And by the 6-month mark, it's down to 92%. And the batteries aren't charging. And now, probably after 3 months, you're like, you know what? This was a loving, amazing phone when I first got it. But all of the chemicals, all of the newness wore off. And there is a new one that is getting ready to be manufactured by the manufacturer that's got double the battery size. So you get to the point where you're like, good to see Carl. I miss the days where we all had flip phones. Me too. Razor for 300 Trebek. Jim King, good to see you. I was on the Trump train. Hell yes, I was. Ghost Venom, cell phones and women, not a good combination. Now, I'm just saying, I'm not talking about what women and cell phones do together. I'm talking about what women and cell phones have in common for men. So when we get that new cell phone, it's amazing power. It's got a great operating system. It works fast, but then it wears off. Then there's a new operating system. Then it degrades. See, the issue is it never goes back to where it was. You can never get a new update that's going to take it back to where it was 100%. If anything, you're going to hold on to that phone. My iPhone is almost 4 years old, and I do not deal with, I go 4 to 4.5 years. The more you update, especially iPhones, I don't know about Android. I did have an Android at one point. I had a Windows phone, which I think Windows Phone was the best phone ever. But the iPhone, every time you do major updates, it degrades everything. It's planned obsolescence, but let's be real. So you get to a year with your new phone and you love that phone. You got it on a special or whatever, an upgrade. It was the greatest phone when it came out, but it degraded over time. That's exactly what relationships and women do. Over time, they degrade. You can nail a chick for the first 6 weeks and it's wonderful. And then those dopamine chemicals and the newness has worn off. But you've got so much invested, you continue with it. Your ecosystem is on your phone. All of your photos are on your phone. Vero, my cell phone lasts 7 to 10 days. Yeah, I think yours was 14 years old. Good for you, brother. Women will change out phones as quick as their shoes and purses. Well said. Bring back the flip phone, brothers. You guys are on par. Women upgrade their cell phones like they do their relationships. Every 3 to 4 years, time to change carriers for a free phone. Free phone for 300 Trebek. Remember that? Get a phone. Come to Verizon, or back then VoiceStream. Remember VoiceStream? You guys remember VoiceStream? VoiceStream, I think, it merged with I can't remember, and started T-Mobile. But we were on VoiceStream. We shared 300 minutes in 1999. But at the end of the day, you're right. Good to see Gone with John, our brother. He was out probably pressure washing all day to make the cash money. Good to see you. Timmy Kramer, Al Bundy wouldn't allow Peg to have a cell phone. You're probably not mistaken. Jason Reed from Colorado. Thanks to men for getting out and voting, saving our country. Yes, now men are being labeled as haters. No, we're standing up for masculinity. That's what we did. I did have my first smartphone, Carl, was a Virgin LG phone, $25 a month. Brandon says, I get rid of my cell phone when it gets older than a child labor is slaving away in China. That's what, 8 to 9 years old? Most women love their phones more than men, and they wonder why. Where have all the good men gone? Attaboy, Ghost. Every phone that I've sold was to the opposite gender. JR. Good to see JR. But that's the reality. Phones. So let's just say this. Men will hold on to phones a lot longer. I'm on my fourth. This is my second phone in 8 years. My first phone, this is my second Apple. I had an original 2016 SE. Went for 4 years. I bought this in 21. So in January of 25 would be 4 years. So in 2 years, I've had the lowest based model of iPhone. I don't need to play games. I don't need special effects on my phone. I take great cameras. I do videos. It's fine. It's perfect for me. I have my, photos, and I have shit stored. I also have iCloud. I don't pay for it. It's already backed up. But at the end of the day, changing phones is like changing checking accounts. You got a lot of stuff on it, and you're willing to keep the investment as long as possible, which is like relationships. BlackBerry first cell phone in high school. I remember BlackBerry roll-on. Man, those guys were way ahead of the time. Unfortunately, they went bankrupt. My carrier Straight Talk, month to month. I do month to month results. Mine is total wireless. I've been doing month to month for 8 years, 9 years. When women judgment on whether they have the latest Apple iPhone versus Android, relationships are done. Carl, for the win. Absolutely, brother. Blackberries are dope. I had a Blackberry for work, and that damn thing. I mean, the coolest thing about Blackberry is you could get your email on it. That was the whole. That's what they pitched, and it was amazing. That was literally the original remote working conditions possible. I have an iPhone Gold by my side. It needs to be reactivated, though. It's good for emergency calls. Attaboy. Timmy says, my first car phone was back in the 80s. 500. Yes, BMW. I had a 1988 BMW 735 with a car phone. I never had it activated. Damn thing would probably cost $1,000 a month. But, back then, rich guys could pay that, for mobile. Think about it. $1,000. And Timmy's not off. He's probably off $400. It was, I think, $800 to $1,000 a month in subscription for a satellite. And that was a satellite phone back then, because there's no, those are analog, so they had to run off satellites. But it is what it is. So men hold on to their phones as long as possible. We hold on to relationships as long as possible. Do we like the phones we hold on to as long as possible? No, but we understand the phones that we have for so long, just like vehicles. We hold on to those vehicles as long as possible. Can we get a new one and trade it in? Yes, but we understand the history of the vehicle or the phone that we have. If we've upgraded the battery, we understand how it's worked through several different, ways of life, and we don't get rid of them. Women, on the other hand, will get a new iPhone every time there's a brand new one that comes out. which correlates to how they deal with relationships. When it quits working for them, they move on. Arvero still got the ex-BlackBerry, attaboy. Cell phones are well named. You can't escape from the prison cell once you're locked into them. Nick Vincent from the UK. 100%, brother. So that's why I say women are like cell phones, because they're the newness, the dopamine, you love it. Everything works perfect for those first 6 weeks. Then the battery begins to slow down. Then there's a new update. We can call updates a new hormonal change. And then you hold on to it. You're building a legacy within that phone. You've got pictures, you've got texts, you've got all sorts of things. You don't really want to go to a new phone for quite some time, because the transfer process is very difficult now. And so that is my analogy with the cell phone to a woman. Mars, good to see you, brother. Mars Lowell in the chat. Men are committed. Modern women always have one foot out the door. Every modern woman is waiting for that. Well, let's just say 98%. I do know women that hold on to their phones a lot longer than normal, but most women, I guarantee my ex gets a brand new phone every year. Why? Because she can say she has a brand new phone. Does she need a brand new phone? No. If anything, a phone pretty much goes obsolete, I'd say 2.5 years into it. And it's probably getting, it's probably becoming more and more less than that. Planned obsolescence. I hold on to mine. I'm going to go as long as possible. I did get a new battery in this at the 3rd year mark, and we'll see how long it goes. It's at, I think, 89% battery capacity. I don't use it a ton. I mean, I use it, but I don't use it. I mean, I have to charge it maybe once and a half a day, but, it's still working. And I don't want to get another new phone for quite some time. I want to run this thing into the ground as I do everything. Carl says, what cell phones and women have in common? What can you lose enough to buy porta potty for $500? Exactly. Women have the D on speed dial on her phone. You ain't mistaken, JR. True men hold on to cars longer. Got a 2012 Honda Accord sedan, one owner for 12 years, drives like new, well-maintained, attaboy. The new cars, let's talk about cars for a second. The brand new cars are shit. They're built with horrible parts. Even Toyotas have gone down. The newest Toyota engine is not the Toyota engine of the 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s. I will not get rid of my 4Runner just because of that. Women's brains are fried from the constant use of them. When did you last see a woman using one with earbuds? You're not mistaken, Nick. Always a bigger, better deal. They deserve the best of the best men in the planet. Ty is in the chat. Good to see you. Well said, brother. 90% of women are finish line women. They want a finished product, not a work in progress. Can't argue with that, S-Mask. These new phones every year, the battery warps till the phone gets bricked, then upgrade. It's all planned obsolescence. But the analogy is this. It wears off. For men, we hold on to them a lot longer because we have an investment in them. Just like women, we invest in our phones, in the text messaging, in the photos, and the videos, and in the documents, and everything. We don't want to go and have to go to a brand new ecosystem and transfer all that shit and jump to a new canoe right away. We want to hold on to it as long as possible. We want to get the most value out of it as we can, even though we know it's getting old. We know we're not in love with that phone from the day we got it, but we hold on to it as men in relationships. Men in relationships in the beginning, the dopamine, the fireworks, the warm fuzzies, it's all over the place because we're in the oxytocin, we're in the vasopressin, we're in the dopamine, the serotonin, but that wears off. But we say to ourselves, well, I've got, 3 months invested. I'm going to keep going. We go as long as possible because I have this investment in it. That is why men stay in relationships. Drove my BMW, 21-year-old BMW drives so nice. And you've got the engine that's dope. That engine in that, what is it, E32 or E34, Timmy? Cars and phones aren't built to last, just like relationships, says JR. Well said. Brandon, you just don't understand, Brad. They're saving money because there was a sale and a bundle. That's the home math for you. Where's Brandon tonight? Still using an iPhone 6 plus 10 years old. I love it. Love it, Nick. Good for you. You're outliving the pension that Apple thought that they could fleece you with. But I got it for free. It only costs an extra $80 a month. And I'm financing it. I got a $1,500 new iPhone 16, but they're financing it. It's $80 a month for 4 years. Do the math. $4,000. My prepaid contract, I've had a prepaid literally. Actually, we were married 2013. We were on Verizon with all that damn contract. And I'm like, I'm going to prepaid. I've been on prepaid. I pay $30 a month for unlimited Wi-Fi, unlimited internet, cell phone and talk on a Verizon network. You can get $30 a month. You don't need to spend $80 a month. You don't need Disney Plus. You don't need Skittles Plus. You don't need Netflix Skittles Plus. Honeymoon stage wears off, then the bitch comes out. JR. And that's what I'm talking about. My investment, my wife had a low ROI, and I learned. I think all of us had to figure that out. Results, you're right. Women have their lifeline on the cell phone, which is attention. Correct. Cars last longer than modern day relationships, especially the cars from the 90s and 2000s, if they're well built. Don't you think what you are talking about is kind of suck cost fallacy? Sure. I'm relating to the fact that a new product will eventually become obsolete. Men hold on to obsolete products as long as possible because we don't want to upgrade too soon. We don't want to lose our investment. I don't want to spend $1,500 and then upgrade to a new phone next year. I want to keep that $1,500 phone. I never spent $1,500. Most I've ever spent on a phone was $199. I got my brand new iPhone because it was black. It wasn't red or rosé or gold or silver. It was black. Here it is right here. Brand new. It's black, and I put a black case on it, and I got a black screen. All screens are black. And I got it for literally 80% off during Black Friday. Don't care about the color. Got a Google Pixel S6a for 3 years, still working well. Attaboy, Roland. Keep that running. Mint Mobile, for what it's worth, $15 a month. I looked at Mint Mobile. If you're doing well, I think apparently I've heard great reviews. Nick Vincent, my granddaughter's got newer phone than me, 13 years old. I get my kids all have brand new phones. Guess who buys them? Their mother. Which is fine. I don't do it. If I was buying them, every 4 years it can upgrade. And it's going to be on some sale. The only time I buy a used phone, new to me, is when I break a screen. It costs as much to fix it. Yes, these screens are very expensive. I actually get an OtterBox. Never broke a screen because I get a very solid case. Last phone I got was $200, new case, and the girl at the store put the screen protection on for free. I hope she was attractive. JR, that phone matches my heart. Oh, you have a rosé colored phone with pink sparkles and rhinestones. Cell phones have a black screen, Lilith mirror. Yeah, Greg Adams did a total stream on the black screen. All phones are black when they're turned off. Doesn't matter what color it is. See, people are bamboozled by marketing. I look at functionality and reliability. Women and phones have lots in common. They both seem to be made of plastic these days. Realist vision, laying it down to Chinatown. Good to see you. I did not smash, says JR. Good for you. This is off topic. I remember what my grandmother asked me. Do you want to have children? I told my brother, maybe, maybe not, but I must focus on my future. Great response, brother. Never had a rental phone, always bought it. Good for you, brother. Big Chris, thanks to social media, we know for a fact that it is women who get and self-sabotage the relationship when everything is going great. The most pathetic, disgusting Shiat I've ever seen. Well, women love the newness they love new relationships. They love it. They've been in a relationship 6 months. They find a new guy. They love it. Just like a cell phone. After 6 months, they want a brand new one. Nick G, Rad, hello from Ralph's Supermarket in SoCal. I've been to Ralph's. Women constantly go through ego trips in the grocery line. Just sit and wait until they are done talking. They never learn. Nick G, probably he can write a multi-sequel series of women by working in the grocery store. Good to have you, brother Nick. Hope you are well. Stay safe in SoCal. Bro, my Samsung Note 20 Ultra is awesome. Never a single problem with it. 4 years old. I'd never finance a phone. I think only women would. Well said. Good night, Brandon. Get some rest for your trip tomorrow. We'll be on your stream. What are you guys going to do over there now? Women are on sex drive. Oh, they're shaving their heads, Nick. They're going nuts. But these are the women that are wacky in the first place. Let them go nuts. Trump coming in, he's going to swing hard. And I hope that he picks the right people. And I think he's doing. He's putting Charlie Kirk in the Department of Defense. Charlie Kirk. Good dude. We'll see what happens, though. He's got a long road ahead. But I would rather have Trump than Cackles. Right? Brandon's sleeping. He's been driving his truck for 2 years and 3 months. Brandon was in trucking school when he was out in Salt Lake. And he stacked all that money in utilities and rent, living it. And he's stacking cash. What would take him 15 years, he'll do in 6 years. Because he doesn't have all those wacko, utilities. Just like women, phones are not needed. It's just another distraction. 4B. You're going Korean, brother. Results. Bryant, I still use my Nokia from the year 2000. Good for you. Good for you. I love to hear those stories. That's like a Honda Civic with 400,000 miles. If it's still running, why fix it? The sex drive. I love the fact that these women they're just showing their colors. I mean, they're whacked. They're whacked. Get out of the country. Go live in a liberal place. We don't want you. We didn't want you with Trump. We don't want you now even more. Women say they're going to do a South Korean 4B movement. Have at it, ladies. Many of us know you are only after the top 5%. They're idiots. And they're not attractive, the 4B. Go shave your head. You're still ugly. You were ugly before that. You were a liberal before that. We don't care about you. Men like classy, feminine, natural women that aren't mouthy, that aren't disrespectful, that understand that men are the pilot and they're the co-pilot. John, the legendary John Boston, taking a break from my playing. I just got your message about you're playing your bass. Good for you, brother. Playing some Pink Floyd, Roger Waters, David Gilmour for the win. I saw that chick you sent today using Facebook. Yeah, she looks, she's 56, acting like she's 35. Well, she's still got turkey neck. We can find that really quickly. Turkey neck and varicose veins for the win. Cell phones and women also known as loose information. Think about that. Well said, Mars. That's it. I mean, at the end of the, I'm making the analogy. When we get that phone, it lasts. The battery is wonderful. It works great for those 3 to 4 months, and then it begins to degrade over time. By 6 months to a year, you're like, it is what it is, but I got so much invested. I'm going to go as long as possible. Just like relationships. Now, there are some men out there that are in love with their phones, and they're 10 years old. That's great. But the majority of us need the newer apps to work or to deal with life. And we have to upgrade, unfortunately. Now, we can get by on a dumb phone, and I think a dumb phone will make all of our lives much smarter than anything because we're not inundated with the chaos of noise. Realist vision. Many of the fat, ugly libtards actually look better with a shaved head. You're not mistaken, brother. My old Ericsson still working along with the iPhone 4 and 5 for backup. Yeah, I love it. I love it. You know, it just shows our minimalistic capabilities, Nick. It shows that we don't need much. Phones are not assets. They're liabilities. They degrade over time. They lose their value very quickly, but people spend, especially women, financing phones. They finance. My ex went out and said she bought, I think, the iPhone 11s for all 3 of the kids and her. They're $1,000 a month. So $4,000 in phones plus tax. and she's financing them. She's not paid off because she's probably upgraded and she's got negative equity. I buy my phones on a Black Friday sale for $179 prepaid, brand new. And 4 years later, $179 divided by 48. What does that run me? $4 a month for an iPhone? I only do the iPhone because my kids have it and I can do FaceTime if I'm out of the country. Cell phones and women, you charge them up and they waste your time. Bookshelf, good to see you, brother. I think it's nice that Trump gave Cam Cackles his job at McDonald's. That way she can kneel. Attaboy. Greg Terrible, my work provides me with the latest iPhone. I have a 15-month Motorola, which sort of got dropped in hydraulic oil. Ooh. But as soon as I pull out the iPhone, broads are amazed. I use both when I do DoorDash. You know what? If the company pays for your phone, use the company phone. We're minimalists. Look for ways to save money. You don't need two phones. Cars over women more useful than my ex. We could go. You know what? We could do a live stream on the utilities of modern day women. Do they cook? Do they clean? Do they? Are they willing in other places? But for the most part, 90% of women will not do that. Carl, men are focused on appreciating assets and phones are not one of them. At best, they're a utility and seen as such, not social validation like women view them as. Women view, I went on a date 5 years ago. And the woman's like, I had an old iPhone, fit in my hand, and I have smaller hands. I loved it. The form factor was great. And she was trying to shame me for an iPhone. I said, you know what? My iPhone is paid off the day I bought it. I guarantee you're financing yours. She didn't say anything. I finance nothing and pay my bills writing a check. I'm a simple man. Timmy, you sound like you are the dude from the Big Lebowski, writing a check for your milk. I have a PC at home. I don't need that on my phone. Attaboy. Black Pill, good to see you, brother. Hope you are well tonight. When I replace an Android, it's a model that's been on the market for a year. Cheap, buy it out. The best phones to buy are literally I always buy a year later. Yeah. I'm going to get it. I'll get 70, 80% off. And I'm still on my second iPhone. I'm not going to move until I have to. Literally have to. And unfortunately, planned obsolescence is a real thing. I've already replaced the battery once at $69. Apple sent me a check for $90, so it was basically free. But, I have not upgraded my operating system in 2 years. That's the problem. If you upgrade, and unfortunately, operating systems correlate with apps on your phone. So if you use a lot of apps, then your operating system's always going to reflect the newness and vice versa. So I don't use a lot of apps. I use an email app. I use some work apps, but for the most part, they don't have to be updated as much as possible. At least Cackles can keep in touch with her fat liberal friends at McDonald's. Let's just hope she does a better job with the Big Macs than she did managing the country. Oh, man, realist, you nailed it on the head. I mean, they ran the worst strategy, the worst campaign, the worst candidates, the worst messaging ever. They thought they were so smart. They thought they could put Mr. T in jail. They thought it all backfired. It actually got him more press. The more Alvin Bragg brought and Jack Smith brought lawsuits to the American people, the more the poll numbers went up. Idiots. They should have never talked about Trump. They should have never mentioned his name on CNN or MSNBC. The worst thing you can do is mention your competitor. When I'm in sales, if people are in sales, when I go in and I'm dealing with a prospect, let's say Phoenix Children's Hospital, Arizona, I never, ever mention my competitor. I never mention their name. I never mention their offering because I know my competitors. There's only 3 of them. I won't mention their name because when I mention their name, I advertise for them. I don't ever want to advertise for them. Even if you say bad things about it or what they do wrong. No, I say this is what we do right. I never say what they do wrong. And guess what? These smart. Oh, look at Soros. Oh, he's so smart. But Trump didn't have to spend $1 in advertising because the networks put him on 24/7. Timmy says he uses the golf app. Good for you. I'm amazed that the whole Afghan withdrawal debacle wasn't a major Well, it should have been. But yeah, I mean, really, the borders, the economy were the two things. Cackles ran on women's rights. Baby deletion was not something that really, she didn't. The majority of Americans are struggling with paying their bills. So baby deletion, how many does that affect? 7% of the population, whereas the economy affects 90%. The border affects 90%. They ran on the wrong things. They ran on woke issues. Go woke, go broke. Happened in the election. The next thing they'll have after the latest iPhone will be electric cars. We're driving around in old technology. I never want an electric car. They've already been around, Nick. They're called golf carts. And you got to charge them. Jason says Trump was living rent-free. Absolutely. Best thing Trump did was get all the negative press. Another thing phones and women have in common, they are both manufactured these days. Realist, man, you're laying it down to Chinatowns. Mochi, good to see you. Hola, ¿cómo estamos? K-Plan is in the chat. Good to see you as well. So they ran the worst campaign. Apparently, they're so smart. No, they're not. They're horrible. They picked a horrible candidate. They literally have no strategy. They're dipshits. They're literally hormonal people that ran off hormones. And Trump capitalized on it. Stephen from Arizona, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Sorry, libtard, baby deletion is at the bottom. Well said. They don't understand that shit. Good to see Father in the chat. Mr. Jared Saunders, our veteran. Good to see you, brother. We were on a live stream the other night. That was fun. We appreciate our brother Jared. Skelly in the chat, also known as Cubing Speed. Good to see you, brother. I think he's won. I think Nevada, Arizona's a shit show. They've still not. They haven't even crowned their senators yet. They're total corrupt state. But I think Trump will take those and get to 317. Cobb Gobbler is here. Good to see everybody. But that's the reality. I mean, that's the world we're in. I mean, cell phones and women go, and that's my analogy. It just wears off over time, and men are more prone to keeping that investment going. That's all. Are they in love with that phone? That's a year or two, or no, but they're using it because they're used to it. It serves them still in different ways, and they don't want to upgrade because they know the hassles of upgrade. They have what they have, where women will upgrade in minutes if they have to. It was all good. It was all good, Father. It's disgusting just how many teachers have lied about Trump to their students, comparing to blank and the blank. No wonder so many students are woke and stupid. Yeah, that's what they're doing, man. That's what they're doing. But guess what? Charlie Kirk is going to take over Department of Education. He's going to rip out CRT, critical race theory, all the woke shit, DEI. I love it. Cackle spent $100K for a duplicate studio to do the Call Me Daddy podcast. They were just so out of touch with everything. They were just, the Bleeding Hearts will vote. They'll vote for a liberal, a pedo in a garbage can. It doesn't matter. But the independents, those on the fence, and especially men woke up. Men are waking up, realizing the Me Too is backfired. Feminism is backfired. And the disposal of men, they're seeing it everywhere. They're like, F this, we're done. The pendulum has swung back. The white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Christian male has woken up, and we're not taking it anymore. Steven says, see Orange Man's 10-point plan in his recent speech about cartels. Absolutely, brother. And did you see Hamas is just saying we're done with the war? We're done with dealing with Gaza? This is why you need strong men in the house. Nick Vincent, that's all you got to do, brother. They're in love with that phone in the moment. Yes, they are. We love our Orange Man. I do. Is he perfect? No. Has he made mistakes? Yes, but he doesn't apologize, and people are scared of him. That is what we need. I was scared of my father from the time I was conscious of the fear through high school. My dad was a badass. You did not fight your dad. When he said, get your ass home at 12, I came home at 12:15 at night. I was 15 minutes late. He verbally beat my ass. And I never was late again. Passport bros walking around holding Google Translate, simping to the max. You're damn right, X-Mass. Orange is the new black. It's well said, Arvero. It's a good job the Republicans won because the demons were shoving the immigrants in the swing states. Look at Eric Adams from New York. That damn libtard mayor now is realizing that Biden's immigration strategy was horrible. Fox did us a great favor when they fired Tucker. Yes, they did. The left lost due to woke stuff, bad border policy, and bad economy. Well said. I am mad and disrespectful. Border policy. I'm a Hispanic and a legal citizen. Lived my whole life in the USA. Well, we appreciate that. We love our Hispanic citizens. I want all immigrants to come through legally. That's all. Jason Reed, peace through strength. Well said. Putin has stated he won't go off the U.S. dollar. That'll put the brakes on BRICS and their plans to replace the COMEX commodities. Yes, Trump will establish order in the world again. He does not F around, and people can. Strong countries see the strength in Trump. I'm going to go back to fatherhood. My dad was a very strong father. He was a captain. My mother was a co-captain. Well, stewardess turned co-captain. But you didn't mess with my dad. My dad was a tough man, and I'm so glad for it. The men, the fathers that are not tough, their kids turn out Skittles. Their kids turn out libtards. Their kids call their dads boomers. You think I ever called my dad a boomer? Hell no. He's 78 today. He'll kick my ass. But it's also a disrespect. My dad raised me with a belt and a stick. You think I'm complaining? No, I appreciate it. You need routine and structure and strength in a society and a family and a relationship. The problem with marriages and relationships, once a man exercises his structure and his routine and his strength, it is now seen as toxic. It is now seen as oppression. It is now seen as all of these situations where man cannot govern in his family. Man is the patriarch. Look it up. Woman is the matriarch. Look that up. Stephen, he said full weight of the U.S. military and special ops will be focused on the cartels. Yes, I love that. He's going to label them a blank organization. Agreed, old farmer, we're badass, ode to the old school. Absolutely. Older vehicles run forever. Get a 1971 F-150. I guarantee it can still run. Basic, minimalistic. Does what you take care of it, it'll continue to pump. Maybe not get great gas mileage, but it'll still go. Nick, you're absolutely right. Mogan, Musk, and Tucker, and Vivek, and Tulsi. Yes. Trump is like a dad who walked in when you and your buddies were all goofy and tearing up shiz out. And you're absolutely right. Commonality between phones and women, says Shinobi from the Kiwi land. They both have very volatile power cores, can combust into fiery explosion at exposure to oxygen. Well said, brother. You're not wrong, Kiwi. Send my retired ass to the border. I'll help with both the largest deportation in history and border security. America was and will be respected again. And that's the reality. Respect. The world, the U.S. lost respect with a very weak and unconditioned president under Biden. The world lost. It's the same as a man that gets weak. A man that gets weak in a relationship, he's now lost respect of his wife or his girlfriend. The man that holds strength, says no, leads, creates a routine, and creates a significant strategy, has a better chance of success. Maybe in the 50s, 60s, and early 70s, but not now. But you get what I'm saying. So the world walked all over Biden because he was a simp. Now they're not anymore because now they see the alpha coming back. They should make a Netflix series watching the Democrats screaming and crying over the election. I'm sure they will, brother. They look so stupid, don't they? That would be a funny, dude. I really get irritated. I cannot stand listening to those libtards. Adrian Blantz, no notification. I went live within 2 minutes, brother. So you probably would not have received that. I had something to get off my chest. You wouldn't let me in anyways, says Shinobi. We'll let you in. Remigration of illegals is getting traction in UK now that's down to Trump. Shit's going to happen. Apparently, Trudeau is getting a little bit nervous. What would be Rad's situation? Well, obviously, this is my situation. Putting Mr. T back in the Oval Office. Now he's got nothing to lose. But people say, oh, he's going to come in and be a dick. No, he's not. He's got kids and grandkids. You think he's going to set his kids and grandkids up to be under some whacked out regime? No, he's going to grease the skids for Vance after the amazing things he will hopefully get done. And I'm confident he'll get a lot of it done. But he's not going to F it all up because he knows his life on this earth he's got 15 years left. Let's say 93 is out. So in the next 4 years, he's preparing Vance to take on gravel Newscomb. Let's be real. Follow the money. Follow what he wants. And he doesn't need the money. People, he should be hanging out on a yacht outside of Bermuda. I mean, he doesn't need to do this shit. It's effing insane, Father. You're absolutely right, Jared. Totally agree with you, Rad. Having a structure is key to victory, especially when it comes to family and relationship dynamics. What happened under Biden was the inmates were running the prison. That's basically what happened. We need a warden to run. We need the guy that ran you might not like the guy in El Salvador. Well, he might, Shinobi. The guy that went into El Salvador and cleaned that shit up, and it's the most safest country right now in the world. He's going to red pill the government. I agree that, Stephen. Good for freedom of speech. The left has ruined comedy, complaining about Dave Chappelle's zero FS fucks given comedy is dumb. Yeah, unless they're libtard comedians. But yeah, you're right. Greg Terrible, what books would I recommend? The Greatest Salesman in the World. I would recommend The Magic of Thinking Big and The Art of the Deal by Trump. There's a lot of others with strategy and so forth, but really at the end of the day, if you want to be a salesperson in real life, relationship, or business, you have to sell the results, not the benefits. Smart men do not build their houses on sand. Trump seems comfortable in his role, and that's comforting. Absolutely. We need the guy from Idiocracy. What a great movie that was. Trump is doing it for his family. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what us forward thinkers are also doing. I'm very effing happy. However, seeing how fast Biden shut down things Trump did makes me wonder what will happen. Well, Trump's, they're going to try and do shit here in the next 75 days. Bible's got a lot of red pill stuff in it as well. They ruined a lot of comedians. Forward thinking, mostly killed by women in leadership. Yeah, women, basically, Trump is a future thinker, and Biden was not. He was in the now, like women, emotionally, addicted, emotionally drunk to the latest minute, to what happens now, where a futuristic strategy is what we need. We don't need to run off emotions to direct our, directing your life by emotions is going to get you off course faster than a pet raccoon in a garbage can behind the Tasty Freeze. Let's be real. Good to see James in the chat. He wouldn't play ball with the Hollywood tiny hats. No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. I live in Britain. It's become a dump. We are providing the illegal immigrants with hotels, iPhone, and benefits. Well, it's the same thing here, brother. So going back to the sales thing, benefits and results. Let's talk about benefits. Features, benefits, and results. Real quick, 2 second on sales. Features. Let's take a seatbelt. Seatbelt, 400 thread count of nylon, a nice aluminum buckle that has hydraulic push button lockage. That's the features. The benefits. What are the benefits? The benefits of a seatbelt, it'll save your life and it'll save your health potentially if you don't hit your head with the windshield. Okay? Those are the benefits. Most salespeople lose on benefits. They lose on features. The good salespeople sell the results. What do I mean by the results? And I think Trump did this very well. The results from that seatbelt isn't the fact that those people showed up, their lives were saved in an automobile accident. The results of them being saved in an automobile accident was them the next day at the Thanksgiving dinner table with their relatives after they got out of the ER or whatever. That's the results of the seatbelt. That's not the benefit. So people get really messed up with the benefits. They think benefits sell everything. No, benefits are not. Results sell it. So the man that says the results, which Trump did, wins. Does that make sense? Liberals want to ban critical thinking. They want only one hive mind thinking. Control space, control the earth, says Shinobi. I could run this country better than the current regime. Yeah, absolutely. From your lazy boy, Father Saunders. Britain needs to revoke women's suffrage immediately. Will it happen? A book by Harry Brown, How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World, is one of the best red pill books. It's where Ronan Man got us. There's some great books out there. There's some great movies. Right? 2028 will be interesting. Vance will be the next one in line. Guarantee it. Maybe DeSantis, but most likely Vance. Probably be a Vance DeSantis ticket. Father could win because he's a badass, guys. Simps are so trapped. I see guys returning back to relationships that are bad. I dumped my ex, never look back. Well, simps will go back to dirty garbage. Again, I've always said, do not bathe in your dirty water. Don't bathe in the dirty water. That's what going back to an ex is. Saunders will go streaming tonight, unless he's out of his Tito's. Here's another thing, guys. They do end. They age because of the stress. Although Trump is in great health. The guy understands how to deal with his emotions and the chemicals and his age. The Fair of the United States that Trump announced for America 250th birthday seems awesome. It'd make a family vacation out of it. I think it'd be great. Yeah, he's pushing the 250th, 1776 to 2026. I hear what you're saying, brother. Need a MGTOW remake of Idiocracy. Idiocracy was great. Tito's is replenished. Attaboy, Father. I believe that the left benefits certain countries and businesses and doesn't benefit the common U.S. The left wants war. That's all the left wants. Why do you think they took out JFK? Why do you think they tried to take out Reagan? Hopefully Trump literally cleans house in all the three-letter alphabets. Do you think bad governance is an attack from the deep state to take down the West? Absolutely. Who's running the government right now? It ain't Biden. It's not Harris. Probably Mayorkas, Blinken, dipshits. Hey, Rad, I heard Trump is a new secretary of MGTOW position opening up. You can apply. No. I'm going to Mexico, Bookshelf. Come on. You're all going to visit me. Oh, shit. Idiocracy. Yeah, we were very close to that, Adrian. Good to see you. Adrian, where are you from, by the way, brother? I know you've been here before, but I know most of my folks, where they're from and where they live. But that is the reality of life. We deal with uncertainty. The only thing that gets through is a strong leader. A strong leader. If it's not a strong leader, it fails. Look at Biden. Look at Carter. Reagan Youth was a great band, JR. And you're bringing back some good stuff. Jodie Foster's Army. Attaboy. Pennsylvania. Thank you, brother. You helped push it over. Adrian. We got to respect our brother Adrian in Pennsylvania. A huge, tell the liberals, I hate Trump. He's a blank, blank, blank. Why did he sweep all swing states? Why did he sweep the electoral vote? Why did he sweep the popular vote? It was a trifecta because people are sick of weakness. Steven says Idiocracy is a documentary, not a movie. And so is Gone Girl. And that was a documentary. Don't you think the left have been quiet, though? No riots? I am very astonished at this point, Nick, today being November 9th, that there hasn't been cities being burned down. I'm from Portland. They're whacked out over there. Nothing has happened. I've talked to my buddy that's still there. Nothing's going on. It's very weird. You would think they'd be burning school buses and courthouses and going nuts. Yeah. V for Vendetta. Attaboy. It's a good movie. Good to see the Emperor, Chris Mitchell. What's up, Chris? I want one of your pizzas, brother. I could use one right now. The 5th of November, Trump did it well, guys. He went everywhere. He did not relent in giving up. He pushed. He gets an A for effort just on his campaign. She definitely did blow it. And where are all those 15 million? Did they die? Oh, or maybe they were made up. Or maybe they're already dead. Good for you, Roland. Another Philadelphia brother. Yingling, you need to take a Yingling for me. No cheating this time. Too big to rig, guys. Laura Trump, man, hats off. She had people at every ballot station watching. Not enough necromancers. I love it. Not only that, but you'll have to test each one of them for a week. Everything needs a Saunders butt print. We love our Jared Saunders. Why aren't you wearing a serape and sombrero yet? I already got one. It's downstairs. Come on, man. I got to keep my brand up. Liberals mad because their gov benefits taken away. Gerard Markell from New York. All her dirty, nasty chimpanzee, blank, opades in the phone. Oh, she was horrible. She was horrible. Half Hindu, half Irish. It's coming, can't type it, but there it's hints online. There have been several illegals busted with weapon caches and blank. Just stay alert and yeah, here's a guy. Be very careful right now. It's a tinderbox with people going nuts. Just the fact of you defending your MAGA hat could cause you issues in the courthouse. So just stay out of those situations. Father Saunders went to vote. He was turned away because he wore a shirt that said, Make America Great Again. Didn't even say Trump on it. Got turned away. Was eventually able to vote. And that was it. SCE, good to see you, brother. My master wrench. And yes, they're still dead. They are still dead, Shinobi One. When I'm in Mexico, guys, we'll have fun. You guys can all visit me. Stay with me for no cost. Media here are crying all over Europe. They can't understand it. Because we have realized that the man has woken up, said this is enough is enough. Even the 18 to 20, my boys voted conservative. One voted libertarian, which is to me conservative, vote for Trump. And one voted for Trump. My youngest voted libertarian. He's a libertarian, But that vote for the libertarian, Chase Oliver, even though he's Skittles, traditional libertarian. I'm a libertarian as well. And that's a vote for Trump because it took away from the Skittles. Biden has now decided Trump is an American like him and we should work together. I know. He's going to the White House on Wednesday. Can you imagine? He transferred the White House to Biden. Now Biden's transferring back. Who gets egg on their face at this point? Trump, 2-0 against women. Undefeated. Jerome Markell, I'm still celebrating Trump's victory, but I'm still wary of what the evil establishment. Yes, Alex Jones is talking about that, and I guarantee that his security is buffed up big time. We have a lot of time before January 20th right now. Father says, eat a schlick. I ain't taking my hat or shirt off. Attaboy. Epstein list is going to be released. So is Diddy's. Man, that Diddy shit. Oh my gosh. Now they're saying Jamie Foxx was sick a year and a half ago because he was going to come out with Diddy stuff. They poisoned him. Whitney Houston dead because of Diddy and Clive Davis. Aaliyah, Ariana was trafficked when she was 14. Denzel Washington's involved. Leo DiCaprio has skedaddled to Europe now because of he's been seen on pictures. DMX, the rapper, I wasn't a big fan. I'm not a fan of rap. Not that I don't like it. I just never got. I was more of a hardcore metal guy. But DMX apparently was linked to the death by Diddy. It is an absolute shit show. Jaguar Wright. Even Snoop Dogg is seen on some of these tapes. Obama is seen on the tapes. J-Lo. It is an absolute shit show. He's involved in Michael Jackson's death, Prince's death. Look, guys, follow the money. You got to be brainwashed not to see the double standards of the left. People just getting tired of their shit. Well said, Adrian. Politics are like relationships. You can catch one lie and then you see them all. We have been pathologically lied to for decades. Yes, sirree, Bob, Stephen. Biden was so smiling and happy. You know what, Jaron? He's happy that Trump won. He's happy. J-Lo's going down, Stephen. You're absolutely right, brother. I mean, it is crazy. It is crazy who's on that list. I think Biden voted for Trump. John Markell, I'm agreeing with that statement, brother. I'm not surprised at all. Satan coming for them souls. Well said, Shinobi. I think Michael Jackson was innocent in playing the game. I think Diddy took him out. Apparently, the doctor was linked to Diddy. Something's going to happen to Diddy. What do you guys think? Great, terrible, yes. Yes, it's been over. The fact that, and this is why I'm going to say that, Trump won, but he didn't win by a small margin. He blew the shit out of the water. I don't want to say landslide, 5-6 million votes. Is that a landslide? I would say 15 million votes is a landslide. But the landslide to me would be sweeping all 6 swing states. Remember, the election comes down to 6 states. He swung them all. And then all they said was he needed to win, I think, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin or Michigan and Wisconsin or whatever. And he would hit 270. But he swung the swing states, the electoral, and the popular vote. 3-0. 3-0, which basically men have spoken. Men have spoken, and these women that are liberal, that vote by their peace sleeves, they can beat it. We're done with that shit. We maintain the infrastructure. We maintain the electrical lines, the infrastructure of buildings. We maintain everything. We're done with being considered goofballs. Place your bets now. Go to betting markets on Diddy. Diddy is releasing a new book. If Diddy did it. Oh, it's funny. If he did vote Trump, it was his final FU to the. I think he did. I mean, look at Jill Biden wearing MAGA red on voting day. Is that not a sign? Now Biden has lost his president acting job. Perhaps he should move in a bin like the garbage. You know what? He's a dipshit, but unfortunately, he has dementia, and I don't wish dementia on anyone. And they propped him up, and that's not cool at anyone's life, regardless. No, not cool. They should have let him go 2 years ago or whatever. They literally played him. Now, was he a dipshit before that? Yes. But no, you don't want to. I've had relatives with dementia. You don't want people like that. That's not cool. So we do have hearts. Karma's coming, JR. Press 1 for blank side quest or press 2. I'm going to say Diddy will probably be taken out in wherever he's at, the detention facility. Congratulations to Trump's third. Yes, the entertainment industry is the den of Satan. 100%. We need to be vigilant, never get lazy or count of other people. We're always one generation or one election away from tyranny. Yeah, well said. Well said, Stephen. You're absolutely right. Rad in chat, the last Biden tweet he ran is to that outside podium and didn't fall. Yeah. Number one, too obvious. There you go. Wearing red and camel toe dropping the black act. They ran a horrible campaign, a horrible candidate, and horrible strategy. Let's be real. And they had horrible success. As long as you don't remember it, right? But still, I mean, they parodied him. I mean, you got to feel bad for the guy. He was a grandpa. He's falling down. He's pooping his pants. I mean, they should have pulled him out. He should have never, ever have run. It was Obama the whole time. Now, I don't think it's an act. I truly believe the guy's got dementia. I really do. And it's unfortunate. You don't wish that on anybody. I'm just proud we have some really smart and strong men who see the BS and everything, and we're acting accordingly. Well, me too, Denny. Me too. But, I believe that Biden's presidency or lack of was literally not him. It was basically him acting as the puppet and saying the things he wanted to say. In the end, he was that they ate their young. I mean, they ate their young at the end of the day, right? And he was whipped out, and he's pissed. He's pissed. Now Pelosi's throwing him under the bus. I mean, what a goofball party. Like, why would the reason they went with Kamala is because she could take the $300 million chest that Biden had, and it would be there would be no issues with a primary. But nobody, these damn lemmings did not even protest at their stupid convention. I mean, that is not democracy. That is not freedom of speech. That is not freedom of election. Great to death oil present, especially in Diddy's parties. Yeah, and Biden is also a whacked out dude. He's showering with his granddaughter. That's weird, bros. The art industry has at the top a lot of corruption and money laundering. Many people have seen the top painters, drawings, and singers. Yeah, absolutely. It's all full of debauchery. Yeah, where's Hunter? He's out probably doing a couple lines, and he's hanging out in Nicaragua or Medellin with all the passport bros trying to get some new poontang. But at the end of the day, guys, I mean, it is what it is. We live in a world, and the great thing about this win, it's not about the Trump win. It's about the fact that men stepped up. Hispanic and black men realized that they were tired of the bamboozlement. Most of the angry white Christian males were like, we're still voting for Trump, but it's respect to our Hispanic and our black brethren that literally have seen over the last 4 years lawfare, being told what to do, thinking they don't have brains. Some of the smartest guys I know are black. Neil deGrasse, the one guy from MIT that found out that there's ones and zeros in the atmosphere, that literally we live in a simulation. Smart dudes. Camel toe campaign sucks. She should have picked the Shapiro guy. I don't know if Shapiro would have put him over the edge. Could have helped, but I don't know. If they would have run Shapiro as a moderate Democrat, that probably would have given Trump a very difficult election potential. But him he wouldn't have run with her anyways because she's a communist. He at least, Josh Shapiro at least respects his Israel Jewish religion and his heritage. And I respect that. I respect a man that respects his heritage and his religion. He's a Democrat. I don't respect his political ideas, but at least he's hardcore, and that's why she wouldn't do it. Laptops and email, the tech is capturing all of our enemies one by one. What did Cat Williams say? 2024 would be the year. I don't think Biden deserves sympathy. Many soldiers will not be coming home because of him, and he called the nation garbage for not supporting his bad presidency. I would agree with that statement. The only thing I would say to that is the fact that they propped him up with dementia. I do not agree with that. I don't care who it is. You just don't do that. But politically, the decision, did he make those decisions? Probably not. Somebody else did, and he had to put his mark, a stamp on it. The guy doesn't know what he was talking about for 4 years. However, he was our president, so he has to be held accountable. So realist, I agree with that statement. Unfortunately, I just don't agree with the fact that he was propped up with dementia and Alzheimer's and whatever he has. I do not like that. That to me is I was very disturbed when he was in the debate. He could not answer. It looked horrible. I was embarrassed for the guy. Like I wasn't sad. I felt bad for the guy. And I've talked to a lot of conservative guys who are like, they should never have done that. Somewhere out there, Biden is laughing. Well said, Black Bill. I'm a part of the greatest moment in history. Yes, and so are we, brother. In leadership eyes, soldiers aren't supposed to come home. Yeah, that's unfortunate, right, Shinobi? Betty says cell phones and women both lose their values with time. And that is exactly the theme. Good to say that, Betty. You're 100% correct. Was Biden really wearing a mask? He did. He put it on. Trump 2024. There's a picture of him. Some drugs can make a weekend last 4 days. Whenever he was on Made, weekend at Biden's last 4 years. Weekend at Bernie's. I think sometimes maybe Biden's medications were switched. Yeah. The doctors knew what they were doing, and they propped him up. I mean, shame on those doctors. Shame on everybody that said Joe Biden was sharp and intelligent and his intellect, and he was perfectly fit for the job. He wasn't. So compassionately, there is a part of me that has a compassion for the old man, not the politician, not the father, not the liar, but the old man suffering. And I don't agree with that. Do I agree with his political shit? No, I don't. I think he's been a horrible senator. He's been a horrible politician. He's a total greaseball. But I don't agree with how they propped him up. I would not want to see my grandfather, who's a libtard, being propped up like that. Phones and women can be hacked to explode. Yes, they can. They're both are glued to each other. Maybe adrenochrome. Could have been. Could have been, Adrian. Biden yes, he was wearing a MAGA hat. Yes, he was. I'm telling you, he voted for Trump. I guarantee it. He just extended. Come, Trump, come to the transition. We're going to be good. I would love to be a fly on that wall in that meeting when Biden says, I'm so glad it's you, not Kamala. He's going to be done in a couple of years. You know, he's going off to the pearly gates. You will own nothing and be happy, says Klaus Schwab. Greg Terrible. Is the woman the parasite to the phone? Is the phone the parasite? I think they're one and the same. Shinobi says definitely adrenochrome. Joseph Hoffman, yes, his granddaughter, he did. I think if Biden would have stayed the way he was in the 80s and 90s, probably would have been a fine president. I mean, he was at least coherent, strategic in his words. Might have lied. Most politicians lied. But yeah, if he was the Biden from 894, sure. Father Saunders, make mental asylums come back again. John Boston, I'm glad that Bernie Sanders, our revolution, was exposed. We saw Waltz thank Bernie and Elizabeth thanking Alyssa Presley, who stole the U.S. rep. Didn't Bernie come out yesterday and say the Democrats failed because they used to be the party of working people and now they're not? They're the party of the elites. You will eat bugs, the bugs, says Arvero. You will eat the crickets in the oatmeal. After my ex got a phone, that was the beginning of the end. Me too. Once we had Androids, Virgin Mobile Androids in 2011. And she wanted iPhone. We people are the bugs. And once she got the iPhone and got the apps, that was over. What if my girl has 4 phones? She's got 4 lives, brother. I really, really think smartphones have damaged women more than society. Yes, blame feminism and all that. Yeah, gives them power and secrecy. Women and cell phones both will do what you want at the beginning and then quit at any time for a reason. Well said. Does that, to a president, it seems also they become sniffing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was sniffing Skelly. He was definitely doing that. He was a weird dude. But maybe it was dementia. Who knows? Bernie is the party of the tax working people. What the F is he talking about? That's what he said. He's like, Democrats are the party of the working people. Soylent Green was a documentary. I'll have to check it out. There was no sympathy for Joe from his own wife, Jill. She pushed him the hardest to keep running and was the most pissed when she was forced out. His own wife. Well said, Jason. Yeah, she was a little wacko, wasn't she? Vegans are premium Soylent Green. 99% of all women lie. Black pill, you're not wrong, brother. They are glued to it all time. So many texts between the hoes and damaged divorced friends. Everything is being shared or gossiped. Couldn't agree more. The phone is just another outlet for debauchery. Judge Mathis wants his wife back. It's follow the money, Manasseh. Good to see you, brother. Reason women get back with men is for their resources or their potential increase of resources. Before I knew of the red pill, when my ex was hiding her phone and getting mad if the kids went to talk to her and she was on the phone, I said, we can't compete with your phone. Good for you, brother. Women think they have the power of the phone. They feed a narc ego for them. My sister does it. Yeah, same with mine. Bernie was pushed up. Talk about a guy that was literally bamboozled. He got ran out in 2016, 2020, and he's still just crazy. Yeah, Skelly, they said radiation wasn't. There is radiation. Absolutely. Biden and Jill ran up the hill. Biden was dead and Jill was the head. Hunter got laid and the family was paid. Where's the people? Pails of water. That's great, brother. Guys, it's been a good stream. You guys are wonderful. Appreciate all of your comments. I figured I'd go live tonight. Hopefully Saunders goes live tonight. But it is Saturday night. It's been a great day for me. Great week. I knew Trump would win. I just did. I was following the betting markets. I followed Martin Armstrong's Socrates program. It showed him a landslide literally 2 months ago. He was right. Truth is that I cannot compete with hundreds of simps. I don't have that amount of energy. You don't want to ever compete with a simp because simps will always lose in the end. I don't like Jim Crow, but what the Democrats, his own party, did to him was really not cool. Absolutely. I mean, even Trump came out and said he felt bad for Biden getting literally bamboozled. The guy was literally shanghaied by his own party. His own party ate him. I mean, after 50 years, regardless of the politician or what the lies he did, he was still a human being, and they propped him up with all the drugs and the lies and the dementia. And you know what? He should be literally hanging out at a Baskin Robbins on the beach with his white legs, listening to Gene Autry. That's what he should be doing. He should never have been president. They installed him because of Obama. Obama's been running. Obama has now been canceled. It's over. The mainstream media is now canceled. Nobody believes them. The pollsters were all wrong. They were all wrong in 2016. 2020, we know what happened. Mainstream media is dead. It is over. No one believes it anymore. Thanks, Shinobi. I sent Rad a screenshot tonight with a woman I know posting pics and all the simps coming out and sending, oh, you're so beautiful. You're gorgeous. You haven't aged one day. 56-year-old. You haven't aged since high school. Yes, you have, you stupid simp. Adrian, they always end up eating their own. What's the first thing that comes to Pelosi? At one point, she had great cans. And now she doesn't. And she's the greatest stock trader of all time. The left has always been more than willing to cannibalize their own. Well said, Jason Reed from Colorado. Brad, you going to go to the inauguration? No, it's too far, and I don't like D.C. My mother grew up in D.C. Actually, the Chevy Chase area. Yeah, rip to the mainstream media. You guys have been great. We'll see you on the next one. I might go tomorrow, but I'm not sure yet. But have a great evening. Stay out of trouble. We'll see you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.